Welcome to our channel. Before we recite the message, let's first pray to Saint Anthony. O holy Saint Anthony, the gentlest and kindest of saints, your burning love of God, your exalted virtue, and your great charity towards your fellow creatures, made you worthy, when on earth, to possess miraculous powers, such as were given to no other saint. Miracle waited on your word, and that word you were ever ready to speak at the request of those in trouble. The anxious prayer of bitter trial was never addressed to you in vain. To the sick you gave back health, you restored what was lost. The sorrow-stricken were the objects of your tender compassion, even the dead you raised to life when the wounded heart cried out to you from the depths of its bitter anguish. When on earth nothing was impossible with you, except not to have compassion on those in distress and sorrow. Encouraged by this thought, and convinced of the efficacy of your holy intercession, we kneel before your holy image, and full of confidence, we implore you to obtain for us. Here mention your request. The answer to this our prayer may require a miracle. Even so, are you not the saint of miracles, who, when on earth, had but to speak the mightiest wonders were wrought? O gentle and loving Saint Anthony, you whose heart was ever full of human sympathy, whispers our prayer into the ears of the infant Jesus, who loved to linger in your arms. One word from you and our prayer will be granted. Oh, speak but that word and the gratitude of our heart will ever be yours. Amen. Now, here's the message from Saint Anthony of Padua on July 10, 2004. My brothers and sisters of the world have been told many things. We have talked about changes in darkness. We have talked about persecutions. We have talked about love and peace and prayer. Today I wish to talk about death. So many people on earth fear death. Dearest friends, destined to come to heaven, you should not fear death. It is only through the death of your body that your soul can come truly alive. This is something to be anticipated with joy, not fear. Consider a child in the womb. Would that child be correct in remaining in the womb because he feared life? You laugh at such a notion, yet this is the very same as your fearing death. He would fear life, perhaps, because it would be a change for him, and you fear death because it will be a change for you. But as you would tell the infant that life is wonderful, I am telling you that heaven is wonderful, and the day of your death is truly the day of your birth because your soul is born then into eternity. This is a good thing. It is a joyous thing for anyone who has followed Christ. All of your faith, all of your sacrifices, and all of your dutiful acts are justified and rewarded. Do not walk in fear of death because it will cause you to cling to life in such a way that you cannot live freely. You should consider that statement if you find it elusive. It is important. I wish to help you become free of fears. Please call on me if you fear death. It will hamper your spirituality, so we must eradicate this fear. Children, there will come a time when you will see death in great numbers. Some societies, those which have suffered famine or war, have had this experience. For Christians, this experience actually increases detachment. This is good. All who experience tragic events such as these will realize that they are mortal while they are on earth and that they could be taken at any time. The true Christian is then encouraged to serve, because what else is of any value when you could be abruptly called to heaven? There is no point storing up earthly treasures if you are only to leave them shortly. Men in affluent areas should understand this, but they do not. There you see a false sense of man controlling his destiny. This creates an environment in which people live for the world. Because they are so busy, they do not give proper consideration to the bigness of reality in comparison to their small circle of living. They will, my friends, when their circle of living is pierced by hardship and death. I do not say this in gladness, believe me, please. I say this in solemnity. It is all good, though, because it will bring people back to consideration of God and heaven and service to God during life. This is what is required, and this is what will happen. We will rejoice, you and I, as God ushers in these changes. Be prayerful and silent as often as possible. In this way we can help Jesus fill you with peace. Thank you for watching. Please return for more videos